if the Arabs, the radical Islam, the jihadists, whether the Sunnis, whether they are Shiites, if they will have the ability, they will slaughter every American, whether they are Republicans, whether they are Democrats.
He keeps talking about how the Romans destroyed the Third Temple. Does he know that when the Islamic Caliphate came and conquered Jerusalem, hey Rabbi, what's the first thing the Muslims did? They told the Jewish reverts to Islam and said, bring 80 families back into Jerusalem. The Jews were able to come back into Jerusalem because of the Muslims. Oh, they're going to kill everyone, then batuku. Then why were they coexisting? Oh, because the Muslims, it's doctrine, it's our belief to allow coexistence of other faiths. We can exist with you. We don't need to kill you. That's why you came back. And there's no gratitude. The Romans destroyed our temple. Well, say thank you to the Muslims that brought you back in. The end of days, truth and... I'm so interested in this. Zionist movement, State of Israel, Independence Day? Or how could we tell what's good and what's bad? A response to Tucker Carlson and all anti-Semites. What? He did a Tucker attack? Which one do you think is the best? The Tucker one? Okay.
Good evening. This lecture, רפואת הנפש והגוף of טליה בת עודה בריינה, טל בן יפה, גבריאל בן שרה, הצלחה לישועת עקיבא, אשר בן שמואל, רפואה of עליזה מלכה בת לאה, אייל בן צדוק, ענת בת שמחה, נרקיס בת יפה, משה בן...
Okay, wrap it up, nigga. Come on. Can we get to this?
Maxima.
Get to the content.
Since then. And many things have had happened. We all, found out in the end of Shabbat that the Haman of today's generation was destroyed. Now we already know that his son took his place, and some say that his son is even worse than him. There's a massive war, massive attacks in Iran between United States and Israel.
Okay.
Great combination. Unfortunately, the job is very, very long. It's not going to end in a day or two.
Wow. Opposite of what the United States government's saying. He's saying, oh, the war's over, we won, it's going to be 2 weeks. This is him saying right when the war started, it's going to take a very long time. Okay, I'll probably listen to the rabbi on this one.
After 47 years of a Nazi regime that prepared for the day that they will have a nuclear bomb,
Iran is, he's saying Iran is Nazi.
That they can destroy Israel and America and maybe some places in Europe. They prepared for that day for almost 50 years. And they were very, very close for it, very close to it. And if Trump would not do what he has done, I don't know if in a month or two from now, we would be around, to be honest with you. We were very, very close to the end.
MAGA is only for rabbis. It's just Trump's only supporters are this.
Now we look back at the day that someone shot at President Trump, and he moved his head 1/10 of a second before, and the bullet hit his ear instead of his eye and his brain.
If that assassination attempt were real, Trump would be talking about that every single day. Every single day. He would be bragging about how he was saved.
We saw the hand of Hashem, how he saved him from this shot. That moment, I already knew he will become a president. It was clear to me.
Yeah, true, I agree.
Because Hashem does not perform clear miracles in public.
Yeah. When I saw that fight picture with the blood, I'm like, nah, nigga won. You can't beat somebody like that in a campaign.
One of the whole world, unless he has a very important purpose. Because the Ramban, 750 years ago, the Ramban writes that the way of Hashem is always to hide his miracles in a natural way. Not that it's going to be always a clear miracle. If a clear miracle happened, that means there's no other way. For instance, when we came out of Mitzrayim, out of Egypt, there was 210 years that we were there, 86 years of slavery. Hashem wanted within a month to destroy the biggest empire of the world. Obviously, he needed to perform clear miracles. So that's what happened. 1 year before, every month another plague until the Egyptians collapse. As you can see, the Iranians, they are very, very stubborn. This regime will not surrender. If you think they're going to raise a white flag and surrender, you are over-optimistic. Hamas never surrendered.
It's proof that the lie that the Ayatollah was killed so the war's over, that's just propaganda. The rabbis are aware of what they're up against. They're aware that this is for religious reasons, that it's a jihad, and that it's not as simple as decapitation.
They're not in the same level they were before the war, for sure. Hezbollah never surrendered. They're also much weaker than what they used to be. And they continue now to get on their head. We can only make them lose some of their power, but they never surrender. I explained it to you. The purpose of these extreme Muslims is to destroy everyone in the world that is not following their book and their prophet.
The difference is everybody can become Muslim. Islam is for everyone. Your ego is separating and saying, no, we need to protect. Your religion is just for people like you. It's maternal. It's a blood religion. Islam is for everyone. It's for mankind. O mankind. And although this will not happen until Isa alayhi salam returns, if everybody was Muslim, there'd be world peace. If everybody was Muslim the way it should be, we'd have world peace, but people have their ego. They're attached to tribalism, to their race, to nation. They're patriotic. They have stupid reasons to hold them back, even though so many people know it's the truth. Their ego just won't let them join. And so because of this ego, because of this problem, we will have chaos for years and years and years to come.
They believe that that's their mission. Their number one enemy are the Jewish people, but they hate the Americans and the Europeans and everybody else just as much, almost as much. So they're obviously targeting the Jewish people. They've been trying to do it for many, many decades, and they keep failing, and they will continue to fail. But that's their agenda. That's their purpose in life. Their purpose in life, we will take any suffering, any bombing, anything that will happen to us for one purpose, to destroy the kuffars. Who are the kuffars? This is a word that they took from Hebrew, but they just don't know how to pronounce it. Kuffar means kofrim. Kofir. Kofir means an infidel. The infidels, the heretics.
The kafirun. Kafirun.
So we will do everything in our power to kill all the heretics in the world, meaning billions of people, not just the 15 million Jews that lives today in the world. If it was up to them, they'll kill every American, they'll kill every European. They came to Germany and they make an announcement. Although we got a nice hospitality, make no mistake, we are here to kill and slaughter all Germans. They're not hiding it. Same thing they say in France, in England, any other country in Europe. They're saying we are here to take over the place, to make the Sharia law. Everyone who become Muslim will spare his life. And if not...
How much different is Sharia law from the Torah law? Is it really... Even the last lecture he was talking about the cutting off the hand for those who steal. Is Sharia law that much different?
I will kill them all. The sad part is that there's a lot of hypocrite people here in America and in Europe that protecting them. They want them to vote for them, all kinds of politicians, so they make all kinds of gesture to help them to continue to take over their country. Now I want you to all understand, in the minute they will have the power in any country, the people that just lost the power will be eliminated, one way or the other. Either they will have to run for their life to a
What's one example of this happening ever?
different country, or they'll all get killed. In case you are not sure about what I'm saying, just take a look at what's happening in Syria. Everybody kills everyone. Once Assad left, everybody kills everyone. Julani, the Kurds, the Druzes.
Right, but he's saying that it's happening to non-Muslims. This was, infighting, right?
The Christians, everybody is against everyone. Same thing, by the way, will happen in Iran. If this regime would collapse, we don't know for sure if you would be able to get the son of the Shah to go back and to establish his control there. We're not sure. There are many, many other minorities that probably would want also to take control. It could be a massive problem there.
I think every single day since the war started, I think about how Kason day one tweeted at me saying that he thought Trump was saving his people. And he's like, you don't know anything. I'm actually Iranian. Yeah, we're going to be saved now. I think about that every single day. Even though this guy's not really like, he's not influential or stuff. You guys don't care. I don't know why, but that is one of the most... It's so intriguing to me that he believed that. Like he's a part of the Iranian diaspora and then his country gets bombed by U.S. Israel. A school gets hit. The leader gets taken out. And he's like, yes, we're saved. I can't believe people think that way.
Just like in Syria now. We don't know. The whole world right now is in a total chaos. Total madness. Together with the horrible social media that every liar and every crook spreads its propaganda and lies, knowing they're lying, but they continue to spread it, especially against the Jewish people.
What's the lie? Because he seems to agree with a lot of what I talk about. I would like to see him, well, he's going to spell it out.
And with all the things that you see, I don't know how it's going to end, but it's not going to be nice. We are waiting for the moment that we'll find out that the Mashiach, the Messiah, is coming.
I agree. So why is it like so evil and cursed what I'm saying? I'm saying that you have your own Messiah, that the Christians in America are brainwashed to think that the Muslims are the enemy, even though we believe Jesus is the Messiah will return. The Jews have their own and rejected Jesus. They're not straight up about it because they don't want to upset the Christians who they see as good goy slaves. They see Christians as a good old tool for them because they really want to beat the Muslims and the Christians do the work for them. Yeah, because you have your own Messiah, who is the Antichrist, who is Dajjal.
Like the prophecies of all the prophets that were written over 2,000 years ago, we are hoping that these things will happen very soon, and that we'll be able to build the third Bet HaMikdash, the
third temple on top of Al-Aqsa Mosque, in Jerusalem. He's got to be Chabad Lubavitch, the way he's so accelerationist about it.
A temple in Jerusalem, in the place that was stolen from us by the Muslims, by the Arabs. And we, just like we return back to our land.
And that's why I say Haibar, and people get mad. It's like, well, yeah, it's gonna go back one day. You stole it, but you got to remember, Jaisha Muhammad Safa Yaud, the army of Muhammad will return. It's not going to be like this forever. Yeah, you're gloating right now. They're arrogant right now. Best believe. You know what's coming. A lot of them know the prophecy.
We want to return back to our temple, the temple that was making the connection between God and us. This is the house of God, as it's written in our Torah, what they call the Old Testament. We're waiting for that day. We obviously don't have the power to do it. The one who would do it is the Mashiach, the Messiah. Now, I want you to know.
So the Antichrist is going to fulfill it.
Not only Jews are waiting for this day. The Christians all over the world, the fanatic religious Christians,
the evangelicals, the Pete Hegseths,
are all waiting for the Jews to build the third temple in Jerusalem. Why? Because they read in the prophecies in their churches that the way for the Messiah to come and to purify the world and to clean the world from all the wicked people, the anti-God people, one of the things the Messiah will do is to build the third temple. That's one of the main purposes.
Nice job, Christians. I know Christ is King, Catholics are separate, but yeah, well done, well done.
To rebuild the temple that was destroyed by the Romans almost 2,000 years ago. So fanatic Christians also waiting for these days. So what is the difference between the Jews that are waiting for this day to the Christians that are waiting for this day? There's one major difference.
What is it?
What is the difference? The identity of this Messiah. According to the Jews, he will be somebody righteous, knowledgeable in Torah, and he must be from the family of King David. As it's written, Messiah, son of David. It has to be from the genealogy of King David. King David lived 3,000 years ago. his son Shlomo, Solomon in English, Salman in Arabic, built the first temple almost 3,000 years ago. After 410 years, it was destroyed by the Babylonian Empire. They destroyed the temple. 70 years we lived in Jerusalem without a temple. Then God gave us another chance. We rebuilt the temple by the immigrants that came from Babylon, those Jews that Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, sent them to Babylon. Babylon was the empire of the world at that time. They sent some of the Jews to Babylon, and they came together with Ezra and Nehemiah. They came with the sponsorship of Cyrus the Great, the king of Persia in those days. He sponsored the money. He gave the Jews permission to go and build the temple. He knew that the temple is not only good for the Jewish people, it's good for all the Gentiles as well. Because the Jews used to pray for the whole people of the world, not just for the Jewish people. And on the holiday of Sukkot, they used to sacrifice 70 cows for the 70 major nations.
Okay, demonic ritual is part of their theology. Sacrifice 70 cows. Just pray. You know, you don't need to make it all sacrificial and demonic.
Today we have more than 70 nations because many nations broke into few. Like you have more than 22 Arab countries, but they all belong to one minister, the minister of Ishmael, their great father, Ishmael. 22 countries belongs to Ishmael. So those 22 countries in reality is one, actually, one nation. They're all Arabs. They're all, following their father Ishmael in Arabic. And the 70 major nations, the Jews would sacrifice one cow for each one of the nations for peace, prosperity, success, all kinds of blessings. The Gemara say, in the Talmud it's written, if the Gentiles would know how much they benefit from the prayers of the Jewish people for their own sake in a holy temple, they will never dare to destroy the temple. It's actually like shooting yourself in the leg. But once they did it, they did it. Okay, so that was the first time Babylonians.
He thinks his prayer counts more.
And after 70 years, we built the temple. After 420 years, it was destroyed again. This time by the Romans. Titus and his army, they came, they destroyed the temple, and since then, for almost 2,000 years, we've been praying 3 times a day, as you all know. It's in our prayer every day, morning, afternoon, and evening, for the rebuild of the third temple, for our return to Jerusalem. Our return to Jerusalem.
They pray for that 3 times a day? 3 times a day, Jews pray to build the third temple and to return to Jerusalem.
Even though now we are in Jerusalem, it's the capital city of Israel, but that's not a complete
Nice job, Trump.
return. The return to Jerusalem, meaning that we reunite
All the Jews are going to go to Greater Israel.
together in the house of God, as it was in the 3 festivals every year. We go to our temple, we do what the Torah say to do. As you can read, there's dozens of verses that talks about it in the Torah, what they call the Old Testament. So we are not there yet. Many of the commandments of the Torah we cannot keep now because we don't have the temple. Once the house of God will be built, there will be a wonderful time. We go back to the glory days as we were in Jerusalem. Now you probably listened to the news last week.
The glory days.
There is a famous talk show host that used to work for Fox News. He had a show in Fox News a few years ago. And once he finished there, he made himself a private network. His name is Tucker Carlson. And I was very surprised to see how many Jews are following and watching and listening to all the anti-Semitism is spread against the Jewish people. Lots of propaganda, lots of conspiracy theories. He makes up an idea, and he builds on his idea all kinds of fake evidence. He takes things out of context.
Okay.
Put it together and try to convince his followers that everything bad that happens in the world is the fault of the Jewish people. So he cut.
Also, he said in the last lecture that every nation that went against the Jews got destroyed. He's talked about the Romans, the Spanish, the Germans. Every nation that expelled the Jews declined. Then he's going to say this is propaganda, conspiracy, that the Jews have power.
One of the videos that I spoke about last time when the Iranians were shooting hundreds of missiles to Israel, remember the last 12-day war? They shot hundreds of missiles towards Israel to kill civilians.
He said USA, he said this country's next. Our country is next.
I was hoping that one of these missiles will fall on their mosque, maybe will clear the area for us. There will be a sign that the Messiah is on the way. Soon he's going to come. And
wow.
You know, for some reason, I don't know what happened to him, he became the protector of Qatar and Iran and the Hamas and the Hezbollah, all the evil Nazis in the world. All of a sudden he decided to be their lawyer. Now I don't understand one thing. He used to be a righty, speaking in Fox News, pro-Trump, pro-Israel.
He used to be a good goyim. He used to be good goyim. He ran away from the plantation. What happened, Tucker? You were good goyim.
Anti-Hezbollah, from what I understand from the past years, he changed 180 degrees. Now he's anti-Israel, he's pro-Arabs, he's pro-Iran, he's pro-Qatar. Now Iran and Qatar, everybody knows, all the Muslim terrorism in the world is sponsored by Iran and Qatar. Those are the main two countries sponsoring Hamas and the Jihad and the Hezbollah and the Houthis in Yemen. All the money comes from those two countries. Now, I wonder what he's going to say when Qatar, his favorite country, I heard that he got an apartment from them in Qatar, some nice penthouse over there, someone told me. And he's all of a sudden a fan of Qatar. And I wonder what is he saying now after he tried to defend Iran and he's against Trump that went to a war against Iran because he thinks that that's Israel business. He doesn't understand that if Iran will have a nuclear bomb, that's the end of America. It may be very dangerous to Israel, but it's also the end of America because all the leverage that America has on these lousy terrorists, it's gone. Once they have a bomb or 2 or 10, there's nothing you can do with them anymore. Because everything you're going to say, if you're not going to be quiet, we will explode New York. We will explode Los Angeles. What can you do?
Like 9/11.
They will do it. As you can see, they shoot everywhere and they don't care about the life of people. As far as they're concerned, they can kill 1 million people with a missile. They won't care. They killed the whole...
Even though there was a fatwa in Iran against building a nuclear bomb, even though there was a religious declaration to not have a nuke, and Israel has refused to let anybody investigate their nuclear facility. They refuse. They said, you can't look. We got nothing to hide. But they don't allow people to even investigate. And look, I mean, America declares that this is the only nation that should have a nuke besides Israel, that only America should have a nuke. Russia has nukes, right? Pakistan. America, out of all those nations, has historically been the worst with their weapons, which caused the most problems worldwide. Unnecessarily bombed so many countries and started wars off of false pretenses. So what gives us the right to say that, you know, that we're the only nation that can have it? When can they point to Iran and say that this is a part of their doctrine that they will bomb, that they will nuke America if they had a nuke? There's nothing. In fact, Israel has that doctrine. If the world gets too anti-Semitic, they have the Samson option. It's their belief that they will nuke if things get too bad. Shouldn't we consider that as a threat?
People, close to 50,000 of their own people shooting them in the streets. Do you think they care about Americans, or they care about Jews, or they care about Europeans? I don't know what's going on. So that's what happened when you work for someone and you get all kinds of benefits from them, such as Qatar, Iran, all these countries. It blinds you. You can't even see the truth anymore. Sometimes people think that if someone bribes you, you are going against your own truth. But it's very difficult for a person to go against his own truth, because after a while, it exhausts him mentally. He feels horrible with himself. How can I keep speaking every week against what I believe in?
Right.
Just because someone gives me money or respect or whatever they give me. It's very difficult psychologically and mentally and spiritually for a person to keep repeating the same lies against what he believes in, against his own ideology. But the Torah is telling us something brilliant. Once you receive bribe, any kind of bribe, money, an apartment, publicity, a private jet, whatever the case may be, you don't see the truth anymore. You have sympathy to the people that feeding you the bribe. Therefore, all of a sudden, Iran is not so bad, and all of a sudden, Qatar is a wonderful place. I would like to have a place there, to live there. Oh.
He's describing AIPAC to a T, right? This is exactly what they do. And the $7,000 to influencers. They get so much money from AIPAC, they get funding, they get their jets. And there's no evidence to support that Tucker is getting money from those nations. He does have a... Well, it is... Yeah, I did hear something that he has a house over there. Well, I got the same exact accusations. Tommy Rubenstein, what'd he say? SNEAKO's getting contracts from Saudi Arabia. There's no... Show me where. In fact, I say all the time, I'm actually like a little bit annoyed. I'm like, nobody's going to offer me anything? Like, am I going to get one deal, bro? Like, I'm like, really? Can you just offer it so that I could refuse it? But no, nothing.
All that nonsense come once you receive any kind of benefit from anybody evil, you don't see them as evil anymore.
Right.
Now, I want you to understand, and I want him to understand, if he will ever hear what I'm saying here now, that if the Arabs, the radical Islam, the jihadists, whether the Sunnis, whether they are Shiites, the Hamas, or the
ABZ, are you Shia or Sunni?
Hezbollah, or any one of the Muslim terror organization all over the world that is sponsored with Iran, by Iran, and Qatar, and other maybe Arab countries, give them support. If they will have the ability, they will slaughter every American, whether they are Republicans, whether they are Democrats. Even people like Bernie Sanders, the Jew that betrays his own nation and supporting Hamas, he will be one of the first people they kill. In case you are wondering how can it be?
What he's ignoring, he keeps talking about how the Romans destroyed the third temple. Does he know that when the Islamic Caliphate came and conquered Jerusalem, hey Rabbi, what's the first thing the Muslims did? They told the Jewish reverts to Islam and said, bring 80 families back into Jerusalem. The Jews were able to come back into Jerusalem because of the Muslims.
Oh, they're going to kill everyone, then Batuku.
Then why were they coexisting? Oh, because the Muslims, it's doctrine, it's our belief to allow coexistence of other faiths. We can exist with you. We don't need to kill you. That's why you came back. And there's no gratitude.
The Romans destroyed our temple.
Well, say thank you to the Muslims that brought you back in.
They should show some gratefulness to people that defend them on the media, no?
Right?
No. They will be the first one they kill because they have a say. If you betray your own nation, you will betray us. You are the first one we have to get rid of. And that's what they did on October 7. All the cities they attacked on the border of Gaza were extreme lefty liberal Jews, Israelis, who helped them, supported them, took them to hospitals, gave them work, paid them generously, fed them, even went into partnerships with them in business.
Such a horrible analogy. The October 7th attacks is evidence that the Muslims are going to kill everybody around the world. Like, these people are occupied, starved, bombed, and they saw an opening and they attacked, right? It's an argument that it's an act of resistance. How does that mean that if Muslims are going to go get acceptance in Europe and America, they're going to kill everyone? He's basically saying,
October 7th will happen to all of you.
No, bro.
They are the first one they are slaughtered. Every one of them. Those who supported them for decades were the first one to be killed by them. If this Tucker think that if the Arabs will be able to get rid of the Jews and he will achieve his goal because he got rid of the Jews, he doesn't understand that him and his children are next. He won't have a minute to breathe. They'll come right after him and after every one of his supporters. That's what they don't understand. So he can continue with his propaganda, he can continue with the lies. None of that will be successful because this has been going on for thousands of years. Everyone who fought the Jewish nation are all gone from the face of the earth. And the Jewish people, the children of God, will always remain, will always succeed, because those are verses in the Torah that the Christians themselves admit that it's the book of God. I want to make a few things.
So do the Muslims. We believe that the Torah is the word of God, but it's been manipulated. And let me point out the racial supremacy that I've been speaking about. Why other people can't ever talk about racism again under my watch. Because he believes the Jews are the children of God. If there's a more descriptive idea of racism, then you have to present it to me. This is Jewish supremacy. It transcends IQ and saying that this race is superior because of the accomplishments. It's racial supremacy that is God. They believe it's godly, that they are. It's like a demigod. If you're a child of God, you're a demigod. That means like ethnically you're connected to God. That God is your father, your parent. That you have godly DNA that the rest of the goyim don't have. That is the purest and most aggressive idea of racism that exists.
It's clear here. Christians and Muslims do not contradict the Torah.
And then idiots like this repeat, I knew you were going to say that. Stinger, you say that, but then support Chud the Builder. That's why you're goyim, and that's why this guy's funny, because you goyim are so stupid. He will call you subhuman goyim that need to be slaves, and I read something like this, and I'm like, he makes a valid point. I didn't support Chud the Builder, you stupid goyim. I said you shouldn't chimp out over one dude on the street saying words. And that this is so insignificant compared to racism on the global scale. That if you want to talk about racism, look on YouTube. Listen to this rabbi. Instead, you guys chimp out over some streamer looking for attention. Well done, goyim.
They admit the Jews received the Torah in Mount Sinai in front of millions of people. So there's no contradiction here. There's no disagreement. Every one of the Christians, the religious Christians and the religious Muslims, admit and believe that God gave the Jewish people the Torah in Mount Sinai a little bit more than 3,300 years ago. 33. There was no Islam.
Of course. Well, Islam just means submission to God. Islam is submission to God, right? They say, there was no Islam. Islam is the religion, right? It's the way of life. There also was no Hanukkah at the time. There was no Passover. None of the holidays that Jews celebrate today were celebrated at the time when the Torah came. So is it really Judaism by today's definition? No, it's not.
There was no Christianity. Christianity started 1,300 years after the Torah was given to the Jews.
You guys got it wrong. It had to be corrected. You didn't know what to do with the Word of God. You fumbled it. Someone had to fix the record.
Judaism all over the world, 1,300 years before Christianity. The Jews already had a temple in Jerusalem for 410 years before JC. The symbol of Christianity was even... The Jews had another temple.
He probably went in on JC right here and they had to edit it out. It got so bad.
Even before JC was born, meaning the second temple was built and was destroyed in his days. Meaning the second temple 2,000 years ago by the Romans. Christianity did not really start officially until the Romans joined Christianity.
Like 330 years after Jesus.
In the beginning, it was a very small cult.
Yeah, he's right.
JC himself never started Christianity.
Yeah. Jesus did not like that. It was started by Paul. He's cooking right now. Jesus didn't make Christianity. Jesus didn't wear a cross on his neck. He didn't do any of that. The idea that you need to follow the church and that the rules and the Nicene Creed, all this was people, they had nothing to do with Jesus at all.
According to all opinions, at least 7 years after he died. He did not start Christianity.
He's right.
He was a Jew, he lived like a Jew and died like a Jew. 7 years after he died, some say 100, some say 200, but at least 7 years according to all opinions, which is 3 generations.
So if he lived like a Jew and died like a Jew, why did the Jews reject him as a Jew? If he was following all the rules, then why did they reject the idea that he was the Messiah when he said he was?
Meaning, son, and another son, and another son. Only then people started to tell all kinds of stories and build him a character. Some say he's the Messiah, some say he's the Son of God. Christians among them argue about what he was. But one thing for sure, he did not start Christianity.
Paul the Apostle did. And he had an epiphany on the road to Damascus. And he was a Jew. I mean, obviously. He's a Jew, the number 1 contributor in the Bible. And after persecuting and killing the early Christians within this cult that he sang, he gets an epiphany, a flash of light, and hears a noise. And he's like, wait, I need to spread Jesus' teachings. Now he stops killing Christians, and he develops the religion of Christianity that we know.
Now, anyone who wants to know if Christianity is a valid religion should watch the debate that I had with a Christian professor years ago. It was a full debate. I showed him without any doubt that this religion has nothing to do with the creator of the world. It's full of human errors. Nothing adds up there. Many Christians who watched it left Christianity. Some of them converted to Judaism. Some of them became righteous Gentiles. Now I want to make it clear. The Jewish people never ever had any agenda or any plan to convert Gentiles to Judaism. Okay. That's the last thing on our mind.
Okay.
The opposite. When a non-Jew comes to convert to Judaism, we are telling him to go and just be a righteous Gentile. He doesn't need a headache. He doesn't need all the learning. He doesn't need to change his lifestyle completely.
We don't want you. No. See, Islam is like, yes, we need to give dawah. We need to spread the truth. The Jews, they're like, okay, we have the truth, but not for you, Goyim. This religion's so goofy with this terminology, if this is true. Yes, we have true, but it's too much work. You don't need to know. Stay away, Goyim. Can you imagine having full belief and full conviction that you know what is true and not giving it to somebody and not telling them? Don't change. Just be good, Goy. Don't, like, what?
A to Z, just remain a righteous Gentile, keep the 7 laws of Noah, and you go to heaven. You don't have to be a Jew to go to heaven. You can be an American or
you can go to the lobby of heaven. Not the top penthouse floor, but the Goyim floor. That's for you. Be good, Goy. Noahide Goy.
European or an Arab or anybody, you keep the 7 laws of Gentiles. You be a decent person. You love the chosen people, the Jewish nation. You are faithful to God and to...
You can love us, but don't join us. But worship us, but don't... No, you can't be us.
Children, and there's nothing else for you to worry about. When you die, you go to heaven. So some of the Gentiles, they are insisting to convert. Once they insist to convert, they go through a long process.
Yeah.
Some of them succeed, some of them don't.
You know who judges that? Rabbis. It's not God. They have to go to rabbi court. It's a long process. And basically, they're only going to let in who they think is going to help. Like Ivanka Trump can marry Jared Kushner and become Jewish. If I try to convert to Judaism, what do you think the rabbis are going to say? If I said, actually, I believe in Judaism, this is the truth, I want to become a chosen, what's going to happen to me? The difference is in Islam, if you want to become Muslim, I'm telling you how to do it. You say, La ilaha illallah. You say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Done. You're Muslim. That's it. Not all this pride. That's it. Because it's belief between you and God, not in a bunch of rabbis. Baby,